Hey, 4-1. What's wrong with these niggas talking down on us, dog? Talking about we ain't doing what we do. Nigga, we done been out here about like 10 years, nigga. We getting old, goddammit. Let's get it. We made niggas put them rose bottles up. We made the whole city boss they like fuck. Boss they like fuck. We made niggas wanna go and hit hush. Bitch, we made niggas, you know we love to stunt. We made niggas put them rose bottles up. We made the whole city boss they like fuck. Boss they like fuck. We made niggas wanna go and hit hush. Bitch, we made niggas, you know we love to stunt.
Welcome back to the Georgia Tech Dynasty for Game 2 action. This time going on the road to play Wake Forest in our ACC opener, looking to get our first win of the year and first win with Georgia Tech. If you missed Game 1, we went on the road to play Notre Dame. I'll tag that right here. Close game, a game that we definitely could have won. It really boiled down to late game execution, so hopefully we could do that a little bit better this time around and pick up our first win, like I said, and also start off conference play on a good note against the team in Wake Forest that made the college football playoff last year as, I believe, the 4 seed and actually won the ACC last season. Looking at this matchup on paper, Lee Corso's rolling with them. Not surprised. We're still a one-star school. We're 0-1, and everybody wants to doubt us. That's just kind of how it is around here. On paper, there really isn't much to take away from their stats. They've played one game, and we'll see who they played right here. They played Army on the road, number 7 team in the nation, another team that made the college football playoff last year. So an intriguing game 1 for them, but you're not going to learn a whole lot from what they did because Army's kind of an outlier opponent, as we know, with the triple option and whatnot. As I said, we lost our opener to Notre Dame on the road. We got Wake today, NC State next week, and then Oregon State back in the non-conference play. Looking at Wake Forest player stats, quarterback was 10 for 11, 79 yards and a touchdown. Decent running back as well, but really low volume so far for everybody. Carlton, nice receiver there. Our numbers, Slater, 200 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Chris Grant, he's back. He was injured near the tail end of that last game, but he'll be back. Really excited to see him play. And then defensively, Noah Miller leading us with 2 sacks. Before we get into the game, let's take a look at the sliders. I do this before every matchup. Jared 21 sliders, information down in the bio. I have a link where you can get the full description on these and everything like that, so you can use them in your dynasties here. But these are, oriented to make the game harder for me and give the CPU advantages that I don't have. So hopefully we can, get this win today. Going on the road to Winston-Salem, going to be a rowdy environment, but let's get this job done. Let's pick up our first win and get back on the right track. Defense to start this time, and like I said, we don't know much about this team. They got a nice receiver in Carlton, but really low volume, so let's see what they got. Starting out with a blitz, expecting a run, but they have a motion to the tight end, so it could be a pass. It is a pass. Play action fake, in routes open, easy catch for Johnson. He absolutely burned Ryan Wood, our top corner on that near side, so a big pickup for Wake on the first play of the game. Now an option left side, and we string this one out. Wilson downfield, gets in the backfield, gets the tackle for loss. Brings up a 3rd and 9 situation after that. We're going drop zone. I get stuck on the defensive line. Quarterback steps up and just rips one in there. Zings it between 2 defenders. So Wake Forest moves the chains on a 3rd and long situation. Now 1st and 10, passing again, and they're just getting whatever they want. Chunk gain, far sideline over to Bates, 12 yards on the out route. And in 4 or 5 plays, Wake is already in our red zone. So defense kind of getting shredded here. Option left side. We take a bad angle. Hunter's inside the 5, and he's finally pushed out of the 2 before a 17-yard gain. We were expecting that 2, which is the frustrating part. So now Wake just 2 yards away from scoring the opening touchdown of the game and taking the lead. Option left side. Quarterback keeps. Nobody's there, and he walks in untouched for the game's first touchdown. 7-0 Wake. So if that sequence told us anything right there, it's that our defense didn't really come to play, and the offense is going to need to score. We're coming out passing here because they got a pretty loaded box. You got to imagine they're going to want to shut down our run game because that's pretty much the only thing that we know we do well coming out of game 1. So we check to the quick slants play, and Slater is way off with the throw. It was intended for Harrison, but you really couldn't tell because it was nowhere near him. It was nowhere near the other receiver there as well, Petty. So 2nd and 10, checking to the option. Of course, we run the ball well, so we put it in Slater's hands. He's got room up the middle, picks up 12 yards. We'll take that. But with that said, we just burned one of our best audibles, so I usually like to keep those till later in the game. But let's go back to the ground game. Handoff for Grant. He gets up the left side and draws a penalty that looked like a face mask, and it is. So tack on 15 yards to that run. That'll give us a great drive booster there. Certainly could benefit from those penalties. So that'll move us up a good amount of yards all the way up to midfield. 2nd and 4. Option play left side. Keep for Slater, but Wake is all over that one. The defensive back read it all the way. Slater brought down for a loss of 1, so now 3rd and 4. We got to convert. As you can see, they're sending a blitz with the safety. There's 7, 8 guys in the box, so we check to the slant bubble, another audible. Just trying to pass to pick this up. We're expecting man-to-man coverage across the board. Let's find that mismatch. It is man-to-man. We got Petty on the curl, and Petty has the first down, 17 yards inside the 25. A guy that's kind of on my bad list because he fumbled last game, but a good start for him right there. He's supposed to be our wide receiver 1. Now a play-action pass. We have the out route wide open. There's A, and we throw to him last second, but not before Slater gets sacked. With his accuracy being so low and the slider is not helping as well, that throw on the run would have been just abysmal. That's why we had to stop. So a 3rd down and 11 situation, looking for a man-to-man mismatch. It's not there, but we can check down to Petty. He's wide open in the flat, and he gets 7 yards. So 4th and 3, intriguing situation. You know, we could take the 3 here, but in a game like this where our defense is not playing well, we have to go for this, and we will. So read option. Chance for Slater or Grant to pick up this first down. It's a keep for Slater. He gets the blocks. He's inside the 10, gets another, and falls down at the 8. First down. So we go aggressive there, and it pays off. Now 1st and goal at the 9. Passing, looking for the mismatch. We have the curl open. That's how we scored a touchdown in our first game against Notre Dame. But Slater can't get it off as the pass protection breaks down. That would kind of be a running theme of the entire night. Our offensive line, not very good. 2nd and goal. Let's go back to the ground. Handoff. Grant has the edge. He's at the 2 and brought down, pushed out at the 1. So just before the pylon was there. I really like for him to punch those in because, like I said, the way our offensive line plays, no guarantees we get this score. Let's give it back to him, though. Wildcat, perfect block. Shout out to the fullback. Gutierrez there clearing the way. Grant walks in. Touchdown, 7-7. So if that was any indication of what this game might be like, our offense is going to be able to put up points. So we might be in for a shootout here. Let's see if our defense can do any better than what it did on the first drive. It doesn't look like it. Safety takes a bad angle. That was us. That was just pretty bad, pretty deplorable. Quarterback runs at the middle for 20 yards on a simple midline read option. They've really been throwing us for a loop with those thus far. This time, zone blitz, just trying to mix it up, really find some kind of an answer, and we're having no answers at all as he gets 7 more on a simple out route. But we're starting to see the same plays being run over and over again, so maybe we can kind of shut them down as the game goes along. 2nd and 3, he's got all the time in the world and finally hits a receiver. Kareem Hall ran a little double move there, and it was so slow developing that he had all the time in the world to wait for that to come open and just kind of slot that thing in there. So 1st and 10, 2nd and 4 near the red zone. Man-to-man hits the curl against the blitz. We have no idea what to do. I mean, they're passing very well. They're running very well. And there's a coverage lapse in the end zone. Touchdown, Wake Forest. There's a guy that should have been there in the zone coverage, but he was nowhere to be found. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Wake, and they're back up by 7.
So many potent weapons. It's tough to try to single out just one of them to stop.
Okay, so I guess we need some more points. Offense back in the field to try to accomplish that. 2nd and 12, we lost 2 on first down because our offensive line just completely blew a run block assignment, but they do a little better this time as Grant moves up the middle, maneuvers for 11 yards, sets up a 3rd and 1, and this is where we have to live. Our offense is not going to be, 4 plays, 85 yards, touchdown kind of thing. It's going to be 13, 14 plays, 5 minutes, run off the clock kind of deal. But we still have that big play potential. Petty on the curl again. He's got 23. 2 catches for him for 40 yards. Off to a great start. Probably the best game he's had in his career in full disclosure. 1st and 10, minute left, first quarter. Man-to-man, and we have the mismatch with Brown streaking over the middle. But again, the blitz gets home before Slater can get the pass off. Luckily, it's incomplete, and it's not a sack. 2nd and 10, checking to the bubble screen, one of our favorite plays. This beats every coverage. You guys got to run this in your personal games. I'm telling you right now. Slant comes open. Nelson behind the coverage, and he gets the first down, 14 yards. So about in the red zone here. So the offense, 2 drives looking really good. Can we pay it off? Can we finish it off and get the touchdown? We try to set up a run play going to the strong side of the field with a lead blocking receiver, but I think that actually made it worse because Grant just had no time to let that run develop and come to him. So 2nd and 12. 20 seconds left, nearing the end of the first quarter. We check back to the run, gaping hole up the middle. Grant finds it. He gets ahead, picks up the 12, and then some. He gets 14 inside the 10. We had to check out of the pass last time. This time we're going to it. Oh, and the tight end just burned the defensive back. He had no idea where he was going. Joey Hill with the catch, his first touchdown of the season. We're all knotted up at 14. So we're going to go toe-to-toe with this team. Our defense may give up touchdowns on every single drive, but we're going to put up touchdowns on every single offensive drive. But it definitely helps when they get a sack. We finally get some pressure, and Clayton Perkins is credited for the sack, his second TFL of the contest. And, I think if we get a stop here the way our offense is playing, that might be all we need to pull this thing out. So 3rd and 15, we're going to sit back in the cover 4 because, we're just going to play it safe. They throw it underneath. He's out of bounds, way short of the first down, and that's the one stop that we needed. So we get it back to the offense, but good starting field position as well at the 36. We start things out with a screen. Great job by Slater reading the defense, finding the tunnel to Nelson instead of swinging it out to Grant because that just simply was not open. 2nd and 1. Let's go to Grant here on the ground, up the A gap and over midfield, gain of 7. I really like the way he's running. I wasn't really excited about what his potential could be in this offense, but he's really proven me wrong so far. He's a perfect fit. I really like the way he plays. 1st and 10, trying to find Brown on the flood route, but we're also trying to manufacture some decoys as well to make that man-to-man mismatch open even more, and we do. Brown is wide open, burns that defensive back, and he also draws a face mask penalty. I didn't really see it, but the ref saw it. We'll take the 15 yards, not going to complain about it. It would move us up inside the red zone. We got 6 on first down, so now 2nd and 4, looking for that man-to-man mismatch again. The question really is who's going to win it, and it's Petty again, makes the catch, hits pay dirt. We take the lead. He's got 3 catches and having a breakout game.
These guys need to be aware this aerial attack is capable of making some big plays. They gotta get on their toes.
Letting it get inside.
All right, so Brandon Petty was supposed to be wide receiver 1 coming into the season. Didn't really look like it against Notre Dame, but got to tell you, he's really coming alive today. He's certainly gaining some favorability with me as time goes along. But defense back to work, 2nd and 4. Nice open field tackle by Perkins. He's having a hell of a game. Now 3rd and 1, another chance for a stop. That would be back-to-back stops. They're passing on 3rd and 1. That's a mistake because Noah Miller tracks the quarterback down and brings him down for a sack. Massive stop again by the defense. They continue to get disruption in the backfield. So again, we get great starting field position off of that punt. And just like that, we're in plus territory. Chance to make this lead even more. 2nd and 4 situation. Slant comes open. It's Nelson, wide receiver 2. Really loving the start to the season he's having. 13 yards there to move the sticks. Now 2nd and 4, they're showing blitz again, so we check to another one of our audibles, the Z spot. It's man-to-man coverage, and the route is there. We throw it way too late, and it's picked off by the corner. Just a terrible decision by Slater. Right place, wrong time. That throw has to come out immediately. You got to identify that mismatch. That's where we usually go first look. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but that pick was at Wake Forest's 20-yard line in their defensive end. The ball somehow ended up at our 20-yard line. So just like that, they're in the red zone, and they're knocking on the door of tying this game up at 21. Sometimes the game glitches out where an interception will go to the wrong X yard line, and in this case, it really bites us because Wake Forest comes down, and in 2 plays, they punch it in to tie the game up at 21. Just not much you can do about that.
Good job of protection, and the quarterback spotted his man.
That's all right, though. Glitches or no glitches, we're up right now. We have the advantage. We kicked off. We have a chance to take the lead again, and we're going to start with a counter to the left side for Grant. Great blocking, has room up the sideline, and is up near midfield. He continues to run hard to keep his legs churning. We're going to feed him the rest of the game, man. But we check out of the run in this situation. 2 minutes left in the first half. Going back to that bubble screen play. It's zone coverage. We got the tight end, Harrison. He's been quiet to this point. Supposed to be one of our better receivers, but of course he's doing his job on the blocking game as well. We finally get to run this read option play with the sweep action, and Slater makes the most of it, spinning his way up inside the 30, down to the 25. Now 45 seconds left in the half. 3rd and inches situation. Going back to that quick passing play. Brown gets off the press, but he drops it. That was a sure-handed touchdown, and damn it, it almost turned into an interception. That would have been terrible. Luckily, it falls incomplete, so we have a chance on 4th and inches. Slater gets ahead on the quarterback keeper and gets 9 yards to extend the drive. Now 3rd and goal, 12 seconds left in the half, and we're calling up a new play out of a formation we don't run a whole lot of very often, trying to find a man-to-man mismatch again. But nobody's open. They go zone. We do get Nelson for 2 yards, but that's going to do little to nothing. Clock continues to run. We end up calling timeout with 2 seconds left and just chip in the field goal to take the lead. And that's how the first 2 quarters would end. 24-21. Little disappointing. I think we could be up by at least 2 touchdowns at this point. But you look at the stats. We're dominating this game. We just got to keep playing the way that we've been playing, and we'll handily win this thing. All right, starting the second half with a chance on a kick return, and we'll get the ball to open things up. Ryan Wood finds a crevice left side, 25-30, 35-40, 45, breaks a tackle at the 50, and he's finally dragged down at the Wake Forest 46. 57 yards for Ryan Wood. He's not exactly a speed demon, but he can get the job done, and he did right there. Sets us up with a great chance offensively. 3rd down and 2. Of course, we're going to hand it off to Grant. He finds a hole and gets over the 30-yard line. Make the safety miss as well. He's going to break a big one of these times, I'm telling you. He had a pretty big one against Notre Dame, but he's going to have a home run pretty soon here. He might have one right here. Screen pass, great design. Nobody there, nobody in the second level. 10, 5, and finally crashed down to the 2. Again, would really like him to finish these runs with touchdowns, but no less. Sets us up with a chance to punch it in. 2nd and goal. Going back to that flex bone formation, and Slater keeps on a read option, but is tackled down at the 2-yard line. So now 3rd and goal. We cannot settle for another field goal here. We have to get this thing in. Who are we going to give it to? Of course it's going to go to Grant. He moves up the middle, hits the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. We're up 10. Massive. We just took the life out of the building in Winston-Salem. We're up 10. The defense hasn't given up a single point since the first quarter. They're dominating. Let's see if they can keep it up. Roberts dropping back to pass, man-to-man coverage, floats it up the sideline. There's a guy there, and it's swatted away by Jackson. Impressive coverage. Guys, that's a middle linebacker running stride for stride with a wide receiver, 40 yards downfield. You just don't see that every day. So now 3rd down and 2, blitzing, expecting the run, and they do run a quarterback draw up the middle, but we shut that baby down. 4th down, and Wake has to punt it away again. Another opportunity for Wood in the return game. Bounces it out right side. Brought down at the 40, but some contact on the play. Laundry flies. That's another face mask penalty against Wake Forest, and that gives us another free 15 yards. That's like their 3rd or 4th face mask penalty. I guess they don't cover fundamental tackling in practice. But anyways, 3rd down and 5. Handoff Grant again. This guy is Mr. Reliable inside the 30. 13 more yards. We have a chance to put the dagger in Wake Forest with 3.5 left in the 3rd quarter. Jet motion screen, except we throw to the swing and Petty. Wrong decision. I mean, neither receiver was open, but we panicked a little bit there. That's not on Petty whatsoever. That's on me. Bad play call. So it turns into a 3rd and 16. We're going to our favorite play, the verticals. Is it man-to-man? Is it zone? It's zone. So let's look to the right side, find that mismatch. Wheel routes there for Harrison, and a perfect throw by Slater in between the defensive backs, but he's hurt. He took a massive shot throwing that ball. So he's on the sideline now, and into the game is our backup quarterback, Earl Williams, the true freshman. So last game it was Chris Grant that went down with an injury. This time it's going to be Matt Slater. Hopefully he's okay. We're going to check in on his status after this. But now the true freshman comes into the contest having never played a snap, and this is quite a big situation to be stepping into. Of course, we're not going to, make him come to the game and make a big throw. We're going to ease him into it. Just have him give some handoffs to Grant here. He starts with a power to the right side. Nowhere to go, though. I guess Wake Forest was expecting us to run the football, and we did. Tackle for loss. I'm pretty content with taking a field goal here. I mean, obviously, you would love for Slater not to get hurt and have an opportunity at a touchdown. But 3rd down and goal, we are going to make Williams throw in this situation. We just get the snap off before a delay of game penalty, and Edwards takes a sack. You could tell that he's a little too jittery, a little too uncomfortable in the pocket. He rolled out when he didn't need to, and we take that sack. Luckily, we got a dynamite kicker. He launches it through the uprights for 3, so we go up 13. And I don't think Wake Forest is going to score again. 13-point lead should definitely do it. And this is exactly why the difference between the first couple of drives and pretty much everything since the first quarter, our defensive line has gotten a push. They've gotten into the backfield. Massive play there by the defensive line. Brings up a 2nd and 12. Quarterback has all day again, but this time we're ready for that pass. Swatted away by the cornerback. Brings up 3rd down and 12. Wake Forest applying a 4-wide set. We're in man-to-man coverage. We're forcing them to make a play here. Roberts dropping back. Has the post route, but it's covered by us. Checks it down, and he's out of bounds. Great job across the board. Coverage was spectacular. We get another stop. I don't know what happened. I don't know what our defensive coordinator said in the huddle, but it flipped a switch, and our defense has just been absolutely dominant since then. Nice keep by Edwards. He can't really make the plays with his arm just yet. He's kind of still learning how to play at the collegiate level, but he's always had that ability to run. He's a dual-threat quarterback for sure, and that was a nice flash in the pan. 2nd and 6. Let's go back to Grant. I mean, we'll let Edwards have his opportunities every now and then, but we got to give it back to the guy who gets the job done every time, Chris Grant. We're hopping on his back and riding our way to this victory. He's got 128 yards on 23 carries and a touchdown as well. Edwards throwing, probably not a good idea. That one should have been intercepted. Honestly, that could have been a pick 6. Matt Taylor absolutely fumbled the bag right there. That was a golden opportunity for Wake to get back in this thing. So Edwards avoided a little bit of trouble there, but not this time. Ball does not lie. He throws an interception. I'm not sure what he was looking at. Sean Brown had the presence of mind to tackle him in the field of play at the 1-yard line, but that's a pass that just can't be thrown. To his defense, the corner did blitz there, so perhaps he thought there would be an open seam, but again, a freshman just making freshman mistakes. He'll learn. 2nd and 5. Perkins reads it all the way, stride for stride with the running back, sends him backwards. So 3rd down and 4. Again, Perkins, hell of a game. He's going to be one of the drip of the day candidates for this week for sure. I don't know how the hell that pass was caught. We were purposefully trying to reroute that wide receiver, and the game was just cheesing there. They just wanted him to catch that pass, I guess. But still up 13, under 4 to go, 2nd down and 3, another pass complete. Just a bunch of nickel and diming, though. I mean, Wake Forest has to take some downfield shots if they want to score and get back in this thing because they're running out of time. We drop back into the cover 4. Screen pass should have been picked, but we got a defensive lineman there to make the play anyways. That's Michael Johnson on the catch. And 2nd and 13 it becomes. 5-wide set this time. Roberts looking, has all day, throws over the middle. Catch made by Bates. That's on me. We were kind of baiting him into throwing that pass. If we do that, we got to make the play and pick the football off. So they get a couple more there. Now 3 minutes to go. They still have all 3 timeouts, so they're looking good, but not anymore. Noah Miller beats the right tackle and slams into the quarterback for a massive loss. His 2nd sack of the day. Probably our best player on the defensive line, and that's exactly why he got drip of the day last week. So now 2nd and 19, not a good situation for Wake. We can just sit back into deep coverage and kind of chill. He throws it away on 2nd and 19. Great coverage. Absolutely nowhere to go with the football. And that was on a 3-man rush, too, which is even more impressive. So 3rd and 19, under 3 minutes left. Third and really long. I don't know where they're going to go with this thing. He finds a slant route. I don't know how the hell Kareem Hull held onto that pass because Wilson just blew his ass up. So now 4th and 9, 2:20 left. This is the play of the game. If Wake doesn't get this, it's over with. We can just run that clock out. Man-to-man coverage, 5-wide set for Wake. They want the bubble screen. He throws the other way, and the catch is made by Thompson for the first down, but there's a flag down, and offensive pass interference is called against the Demon Deacons. I mean, you got to know, man. This is exactly why I check all the receivers to run a route on a bubble screenplay, because if you wait too long, you're going to get called for pass interference. It became 4th and 19. Wake Forest punted, so we get it back. 3rd and 4, 140 left. Just got to get this first down and the game's over, and we do. Edwards pitches to Brown. He gets the first down and then some. 10 yards on the gain, and that would do it. 34-21, Georgia Tech wins its first game under Dana Dimmel. Chris Grant, your player of the game, 27 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had 43 receiving yards as well. just a dominant performance. Really excited for his future with this team. As you saw the score there, we shut them out in the second half. The defense was absolutely phenomenal from the second quarter and on. Matt Slater, heck of a game, 193 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Again, Chris Grant, your player of the game with 143 on the ground. And receiving as well was impressive. Bryce Petty had a great game, along with Nelson and Harrison as well, the tight end. But Petty was really the guy today. 6 for 60 in a score. Hill had 1 catch for 9 yards. He had that 1 touchdown in the red zone. But if we can get Petty going, we already know what Nelson can do. He had a touchdown game 1. Sean Brown's a stud, true freshman. We could be a dangerous offense. Defensively, really impressive again. Clayton Perkins led the way, 3 TFLs and a sack. Noah Miller had a pair of sacks leading that D-line. He's an absolute force there, and we need him to be because our defensive tackle positions pretty weak. Looking at the team stats, really balanced effort by the offense today. 210 running, 192 passing, 8 for 14 on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth down, and then we just dominated time of possession. So, guys, that right there is how Georgia Tech is going to win games. We stuck to the game plan the entire way. The defense really picked it up, and we walk away with a 13-point win over Wake Forest, our first win at Georgia Tech, our first ACC win at Georgia Tech. I'm telling y'all, man, this team is special. This team is dangerous. I know it's only year 1 and it's a 1-star school, but this team has potential to win the ACC. That's not a hot take. I'm going to prove you right week after week. I'll be back with the next episode, Week 2 recruiting. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll be back soon with the next episode. Hope you enjoyed.